sir. Well, good morning. Thanks for coming out here. The San Francisco General Hospital rebuild is one of the most important projects that the city has ever undertaken. As you all may recall, back in 2008, the voters voted historically the largest general obligation bond project in our history. And it's $887 million investment. That project, this project about replacing our hospital, of course, was required by state seismic laws that we must replace our hospital, and it's got to be seismically safe. And so you see behind me the team of people that have been assembled and working together for the last 2.5 years. And since, in fact, some of them were working even a couple of years before the 2008 passage, just to make sure that this was engineered properly, because we learned from the past that if we didn't invest in the engineering aspects of this, we would be surprised by conditions and things that were not foreseeable. And so our general hospital staff went to work with public works and engineers to adequately design this, and it's amazing. We've got design in this hospital. A project's going to involve what they call base isolators, about 115 of them that are going to be in this pit, placed in there so that this building, in case it suffers a seismic event, that it will be able to move along with the building, and so it can absorb all the shock. This is exactly what the state has approved in order to be compliant with seismic safety standards from the state. And in doing so, they've also kept a big promise to the voters and to our city and to our 10-year capital plan, and that is it's on time and it's within budget. It's about 14% done at this time. And during this last 2.5 years, while it's been in work, it has contributed hundreds of jobs to our economy. In fact, overall, the project is going to generate 3,000 construction jobs. To date, they've already spent about $50 million with local San Francisco local businesses in doing the work here, including the architectural firm and some of the subcontracting firms. And I want to thank Department of Public Works. I want to thank the General Hospital, and certainly want to thank WebCore Construction for all working together as a team with our hospital staff and making sure this is all done correctly on time and compliant with all of our ordinances, but at the same time, just working really hard with all the subcontractors to keep this project on time. And we do have a lot of good staff on it. We have private consultants like Mark Primo and others who used to be Public Works Director working on this, and he knows, working with our current Public Works Director, Muhammad Nuru, and former Public Works Director, Ed Riskin, and me. We all have our Public Works hats on today. So I can view this and view where it's at. And it's a wonderful time. It's a great investment, and we're making it work. So if you take a look down here into the pit, I think this will be a great time to see how much and how complex this project is. It's got these thousands of tiebacks into the sides of the walls. The whole utility relocation for the power and utility conduits that have been the formal historic connections for our hospital are now rerouted, and then this pit will be the home for the sub 2 floors for the hospital, and there'll be 7 floors on top. It is expected, and they are working on completing this project and opening up a new hospital by the year 2015, and they're well on their way. They're within budget and they're on time, and this is what I have striven for when I was city administrator and now as mayor, to be here and to make sure that we're doing this all on time, all within budget, that we abide by the disciplines and city fiscal responsibility for keeping the project done. The overall thing, though, is that this is exactly the kind of project that this city has correctly invested in, and something that I've been personally involved in from the very start. This investment is well worth it. This is the greatest hospital in the whole Bay Area. We have a trauma center that is open to every San Francisco resident. It still is today. It will be even better when this is done. The ICU unit, the intensive care unit, currently has 27 beds. Now, with this new hospital, it will go up to 60 beds. And that will be extremely helpful because our population really is already increasing. And Barbara Garcia, the director of our public health, knows that we have to have a new hospital for the new population, the increased growth that we're experiencing in the city. Overall, this will have 284 beds in the hospital. That's an additional 32 from what we have had in the past. That's wonderful for the city. It is still carrying out the wonderful relationship that we have with University of San Francisco, California, San Francisco, with the medical group that's still in partnership with us. And they see this as a tertiary academic center as well as a trauma response center for everybody in the city. So it's the most important project we have to date. And it is so important that we rebuild our hospital because everyone can see that any kind of emergency situation, whether it's a car accident or other man-made caused accidents, they can get the best care in the world that we have here. I was here yesterday, by the way, and was there in the intensive care unit giving a little visit to Ryan White, the 9-year-old boy who was hit by a drunken driver, and he's recovering. He's doing well. The family asked that I come by here and say a little word and give a little encouragement to the kids. But I'll tell you too, I felt really good about the staff here at SF General. They are doing a wonderful job, and we need their services to be housed in the most modern facility that we can possibly build. And we need to honor the voters' request that we build a new hospital, compliant, modern, seismically safe, and that it takes us into the future for the next 100 years. So I'm here today to kind of review all of the things that have gone on here, and my thumb is up for this whole team, for their dedication and focus in every aspect of this project. I'm proud of them because they are carrying out exactly what I have as in my former capacities now as mayor, want to make sure that these projects are done on time, that we honor all of the commitments that we do, especially on the most important one of these, the largest general obligation bond project we have in our history. It was overwhelmingly passed by 84% of the voters. And of course, they want to see and make sure this project's done, and I'm here to make sure that we carry it out. That's what I've been about for all these years, is to make sure things get done in the city and get done right. And that's what I'll be doing when we come up with the other projects in the city. So this is a wonderful example of what I do, what we do to lead this city. And when you look at it in the face of everything else that the state's not being able to do and the federal government's not investing in, we are investing correctly. We are doing the right things here. And this is going to be so important for our future citizens to have a brand new hospital, to have all of our residents be very faithful in knowing that they'll be taken care of should there be something that occurs to them as individuals or anything that would occur to our city. So I want to again thank this wonderful team. Thank them for the collaboration. It is one that has to be continued all the way to the opening day of 2015. And you can already see the way that they are doing this in cooperation. This team will be solidly together throughout the rest of the next 3 years to see this thing through, and 4 years actually, and to see this thing through to the opening day. So I'm proud to be here and announcing that we're 14% of the way, but we're doing it right. And this hospital is well on its way to being rebuilt, and it'll be a shining example of the smart investment that the voters and our city government have promised and is carrying out. So thank you for being here this morning, and thank you everybody, to the whole team, to the project managers and DPW, to again WebCorps, the hospital staff through Barbara's leadership. The consultants have to be thanked as well because they are again part of this great team. And when you look at the pit here, you'll just see how complex this is. And it's well worth all the time to get this thing done. So I appreciate the report and the status, and I'll be back here in another year, hopefully, to see the steel frames will start going up. The base isolators, 115 of them will be established here in a very short months. And Ron told me this morning, they're not being built in some foreign country. These base isolators are actually constructed and designed and made right across the bay in Vallejo. Right, and so they'll be shipped here. They're all already underway. And they are one of the most important things here because it'll allow this hospital that if there's ground movement 30 inches in any direction, they'll allow that ground movement not disturb the hospital building. So that's why they're called base isolators. And that's the most modern seismic standards that exist. And we were striving that this hospital we will make it LEED gold because it has all of the energy efficiencies that we've been talking about in the city being the new standards for buildings. That's again laid into the way we've planned this building and the way it's being executed. So I'm very proud of where we are today, and we'll keep monitoring these projects and making sure they're on time and within budget and fully compliant, and that they contribute to the economy of the city. That's really the most important thing. 3,000 jobs, already $50 million in local businesses. Everybody's doing the right thing with this project, and I'm very proud of this. Thank you very much. Engineer's delight here, right?